Hey guys, what's up? So I'm kind of awake now. It's 3 in the morning. I just took on a trade that you guys saw. So I'm gonna update you on the market right now. I just made like a quick $660 trading BLZ here. I'm gonna update you guys on what I think is gonna happen next because I think I'm very, very, very right about this coin. So remember how I talked about an ending fifth wave diagonal? Here we go. Looks like it's being made. It actually looks like it's being made very, very clearly now. Okay, so the one, two, three, four is forming now. The one, two, three made an ABC, right? And then it made another ABC here, which is really clear too. Remember that ending fifth wave diagonals, they separate into threes. Also, this is making another three already, right? It's making threes. So this has got to be it. That's got to be it, 100%. Okay, we've actually seen this before on a coin like Bake. Okay, so Bake actually did the exact same shit. I think it was Bake. Was it Bake? Might have been not Bake. Hold on, I have to think about what coin it was. One sec. Okay, it was MKR that made it. Okay, so we take a look here. We see MKR do something like just like that, right? Where it's making a fifth wave. So if you take a look closely here, you're going to see this one make an A, B, C to make the 1, A, B, C to make the 2, A, B, C to make the 3, A, B, C to make the 3, or sorry, the 4, and then the 5 kind of does an A, B, but it double tops instead like that, okay? So, but either way, that makes an ending fifth wave diagonal, right? You would agree with me, and then it breaks down heavily, right? It does the exact same thing. So if you notice here, this is a 1 on MKR, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth is the bigger wave, right? Agreed, 100%. Would you also agree with me right now that if I were to take this out right here, I would show you a picture or a chart like this, you would agree with me that this is now the 1, this is the 2, this is a 3, this made an A, B, C, D, E. That's a 4, and now it's probably going to make a 5, just like an MKR. Do you see the resemblance? Now, I may be wrong on this. Of course, there's a possibility I'm wrong on this entirely, but we have to take what we have already. We have to take what we know, and we have to use the past as experience to gauge the future. So we're using the past trades that we've seen similarities on. We use that to make guesses about and predictions about what could happen to the coins that we're looking at now. So let's just, for example, play this out like that, okay? We can look at this on multiple. Oh, you know what I just thought of? I'm like really excited to go to Canada to see my parents. I'm taking them on a cruise. I messaged my parents one day and I'm like, hey, I got a surprise for you. Can you be free in October? And they're like, sure. And then after I reserved everything, the hotels, the excursions, the cruise, $24,000 later, I'm like, be free. We're going on a fucking cruise to Hawaii. And that's how you take care of your parents. I just realized I'm super excited for that. That's probably one of the coolest things that I've ever done for them, other than paying off their mortgage. So, anyways, they just came to mind and I thought I'd talk random stuff right now. So let's just see if this makes a fourth wave down like that. Okay, if it makes a fourth wave down, like we know it's gonna make an A, B, and a C like that, right? And then the fifth wave can come in many different patterns. So this is how we're gonna take a look at Blaze for the next few days. The funding fee is actually very reasonable now. The funding fee is minus 8.4, so it's very reasonable to trade this coin. So be aware of this. Yo, what's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Time to get you an update on BLZ. Okay, so first of all, the funding rate. The funding rate is still at around negative 6.8 or 0.68. So the bulls are still definitely benefiting from it, but it's not that major. So we're still squeezing, in my opinion, into this type of pattern. Okay, see the yellow, in between the yellow, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is still very likely, in my opinion, to occur. Still has room to go. Okay, like we're talking about major room. Anything above this white line is a bull trap to me. And it stems from the fact that we have a resistance from way back in February over here. See it? So there's a major resistance back in February, and it's definitely going to act as one, in my opinion. So because we have room to go, we have to make some decisions. You have to ask yourself, is it worth your risk to long it? And if you did decide to long it, what would be some of the reasons you would long? Where would your target be? And where would your stop loss be? So let's just say that you were looking at going into a long position. You would turn on the chandelier exit indicator to see if it's still trending bullishly. And what you see is that yes, we have and are still trending bullishly. So we see that right here, the green chandelier exit indicator is bullish on the 15-minute chart. Okay, so anything above the white line is a resistance, as you can see, right? We see that the February resistance hit once right here, once right there, and a second time we ended up getting a major bull trap over here, seen on a higher time frame as a major wick, as you can see right there. See that? So you see one right there, and you also see this big ass wick right here. So two wicks, or sorry, one wick right here, major rejection. So basically anything above that 13794 is a major resistance. So because this is trending above the 15-minute time frame, and do you see the white, or sorry, the yellow trend line below here, right? So assuming that this is where the wave 2 to 4 is forming, like, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is forming, and waves 2 and 4 are acting as a support, okay, we would say that, okay, well, this yellow trend line right here is actually acting as a good support. Not only that, we see this yellow trend line actually being right at the same spot as the 15-minute chandelier exit indicator. So therefore, anything below the yellow trend line and below the 15-minute chandelier exit indicator would be your stop loss. Does that make sense? I'll say that again. So because that yellow trend line is connecting waves 2 and 4, and because the 15-minute chandelier exit indicator is also coinciding exactly with the yellow trend line, anything below here, okay, anything below here would be your stop loss. And then if you had to choose a target, okay, if you want to go into a trade, if you had to choose a target, clearly the best target would be this white line, right? So it could hit one of two things. It can hit either the yellow line at the top, because that's where the top of the wedge would be. Or it can also hit the yellow trend line somewhere in here because that's where the white resistance is, okay? So it's got two possible targets. Therefore, if you now know your target, okay, and now you know your stop loss as well, if you would be so inclined to enter a trade, I would probably recommend to enter it on a break above this trend line over here, okay? So you'd have to wait for a trend line to break first of all. And then after you decide to enter, you would set your stop loss slightly below this green line. I'd probably allocate probably a 2.5% stop loss here. So you'd probably go around there on a breakout. Okay? Or you can even enter now. It's up to you. Let's just say you enter now because you have the tolerance for the risk. You can risk anything you want below that green line. If it goes below that green line, you would stop yourself out and you would close your position. So let's just say you risk 2.5%. Okay? Well, then you would be targeting up here. You'd be targeting for a possible 10% profit, which is a very big profit. So then your RR ends up becoming 4.5, which is a really good RR. Or if you end up entering when it starts to actually break out, okay, then your RR is a little bit less, but then there's also a little bit more that you could lose. You could lose about maybe 3%, I would say, maybe 3.25%. So now your RR is about 3.17. Okay, so we're talking about 3.17 versus 4. 4.1. So they're still pretty good RRs. So this is how you would play it if you were to enter a long position. And then I would not recommend to riding it to the yellow line. I would not, because there's no chance of it getting there, okay? Because anything above it is a bull trap region. Not only that, we might not even break to the upside. We might completely break to the downside. This is no chance, no guarantees of it holding. But you also have to see here that the 1 hour chandelier exit indicator is actually still bullish. It's holding above it. So the 1 hour was trending bearishly the whole time. It seems like the 1 hour is the major one that seems to be trending, right? So all green here, then all red, all green, then red, all green, then red. Now it's all green again. So because of that, there could be a possibility that we could bounce above this green line and move to the upside very heavily. So we will see how this ends up playing out. Now, don't forget, there's no guarantees of a bounce, okay? I don't recommend entering now. I would recommend waiting to get a little bit more of a bullish price action going to the upside. If that happens, then you might want to consider entering. But for now, I don't see any reason to enter. So make sure you really understand that, okay? So there's definitely a chance for it to break to the upside. Now what we're going to do is check the volume. How has the volume been picking up? Volume is definitely decreasing, but more so because we're at the trend line. So let's see how this plays out. I mean, if you take a look here, right now is 1241. So this leads up to like this squeeze would lead up to about deep into about 140. So there's about 1 hour left to see how the price action is. So this is a really good way to trade. When you trade, you have to be very analytical. You have to think about where your stop loss is going to be. You have to think about where your target is going to be. And you also have to think about where your entry is going to be. This all needs to be understood before you enter any type of trade. A professional trader will always think about how much they can lose, not how much they can win. Protecting yourself and your most important asset, which is your capital, is going to lead you to long-term success. So if you're just entering blindly every time because you have this feeling that it's going to do something, but you haven't actually planned a specific entry, a specific stop loss, and a specific target, then that's not really a good way to trade long-term for long-term profitability. So make sure you're understanding this very detailed video of how to plan to enter a trade. So right now, I am still on the sidelines. I'm waiting for the market to move a little bit more. I would like more bullish price action. I would like some sort of break above this yellow trend line over here because it's got 2 points. Maybe a third one will reject one more time. Maybe it's going to go up. Maybe it's going to go down. We never know. And then if it goes down, I'm also going to plan another exit. Sorry, not exit. I'm going to plan an entry to short the continuation pattern if we end up dropping to the downside. But that's for another topic because I'm still expecting a move to the upside for now. So let's see how this goes and let's give this a little bit more time. All right, quick miniature update. So the way I drew it earlier wasn't really the best way on the 15-minute time frame. The way I drew it wasn't really interacting with specific points well enough. And sometimes that happens, right? So I should have drawn it a little bit better. If you take a look at the 1 hour time frame, this now looks pretty decent, I'm guessing. Because keep in mind, we have to hunt for a fifth wave. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There must be a fifth wave that forms. This one looks like it might be truncated, and then we're gonna probably get one more above there somewhere. That's the only outcome, man. That's the only outcome. I just don't see it any other fucking way. Now we're also at the 1 hour chandelier exit indicator. Okay, the 1 hour chandelier exit indicator is right there, and it's bouncing off of it thus far. Also, we have here that looks like it just started to break out, like right about now. Like literally right now, it started to break out. So I'm just hunting for a fifth wave because the fifth wave is going to allow me to find a fifth wave top that can allow me to get into an entry. So that's what I'm looking at right now for short. The 30-minute time frame is looking very bullish on the support trend line. See that? Huge bullishness. So we see that it's looking great right now. So that begins the rally. I mean, it's now, right? It literally just broke above the 5-minute this huge trend line that was holding for like 3 hours. The 30-minute time frame just literally bounced above right here, right? It bounced above the support trend line that's been holding for how many days now? For 1 day, 14 hours. And now we see the fifth wave possibly forming like that, right? So it's looking incredibly good right now for the bulls. Let's see if the momentum can carry. And we have to remember the resistance at 13794. I forgot what it was. 7749 or something like that. 13794. Wow, good fucking memory though. Sometimes, seriously, my memory, it fucking surprises me. It really does. But then again, when you work with a lot of crypto and numbers, you kind of just naturally, remember things like that. So I think it's gonna hit anywhere. Like, okay, I'm gonna take out the chandelier. I don't want it to be a mess right now. I think it's gonna hit anywhere between like, once again, between here and like between somewhere up there. It could be here. It could even fucking fail. It could be up there, but the yellow trend line or the white trend line, one or the other. This is the target right here. Okay, this is the target. Somewhere in there. Let's go. Okay, so I finally entered a position for BLZ. Looking pretty good. I'm up about $1,700 so far. I am in a $100,000 position, I think. I think 100K. Am I? Yeah, 100K, give or take. So it's looking great. It's very bullish. So the main reasons for entering this coin, this trade, is because of everything that I've summarized so far. Been following it very, very, very closely, and you can see that it's most likely making the one, two, three, or sorry, 1, 2, 3 to make the one, ABC to make the two, ABC to make the three, and this is most likely the last A, B truncated C. On the 1 hour time frame, it looks very good because it's connecting multiple points right now. Also, if you go to the chandelier exit indicator, it's showing you that right here on the 1 hour time frame is green and it's being supportive for now. It's also holding decently at this support level because if you take a look, there's multiple points of support for now. Like if you take a look on the 1 hour, okay, you see everything below it is kind of a bear trap region. See that? Wicks below. That's good. Wicks below. And also, if you take a look on the 5 minute time frame, you see that it was breaking to the upside here, okay? Like right around here. I hope it continues. It just keeps continuing. 3 points of contact here makes it a fairly decent level of resistance that we would be able to consider. So it finally breaks out of there. The 5 minute MACD is going up. The 6 minutes going up. The 8 minutes going up. 10 minutes is about to cross over. Let's see if it can cascade over to the higher time frames. There's a gigantic green candle on the 15-minute chart here. And also on the 30-minute chart is really important. It's got a gigantic hammer candle. And the hammer candle here is very bullish because not only does it break outside of that trend line that's been holding, that yellow one there, for about 4 hours, but it's also showing a rejection to the downside on both the yellow trend line here that's connecting waves 2 and 4, and also on the 1 hour time frame, the white line that is a support right here. So there are multiple reasons right now to be bullish. Therefore, I entered a trade. There's no reason for me not to enter a trade. I'm now up $2,400 and doing very well. I would like for this momentum to continue. The 15-minute looks like it's really getting bullish right now. Big green candle followed by another push. So now the 15-minute time frame has now crossed to the upside. I'm now up about $3,800 and doing very, very well. I might take my profit early. So now I'm up about 3,400. Let's see how this bullish momentum will continue. We're getting a series of two really large green candles and also a huge series of bullish green candles going to the upside as well. So now we're about to hit the first support zone. I do not want to risk any type of truncation to the top side of this fifth wave. Therefore, because I do not want to risk it, it would be in my best interest to take profit on this coin very soon. So let's give it some more time. During these moments, I have a lot of overwhelming feelings of fear, the fear of not taking profit when it is profitable. So, because of that feeling, I tend to want to take profit and capitalize on it because you just never know what kind of movements we can get in the very final fifth wave leading to the upside. So, I'm going to give this just a few more moments to see how it springs, to see what kind of rally we're going to get. This is a very bullish type of candle still, but if you're noticing, we're having a lot of difficulty getting above this 5-minute chandelier exit indicator. And the last thing I want is to get a truncation where it falls back down and it actually fails to break to the upside instead. So because of this, I will be exiting my trade very, very soon. I do not think that it's going to have that much more steam just based off of the theories of how the fifth waves are always sloppy, they're always unpredictable, they're always messy, they never react and perform the way we wanted to perform. So because of all of these reasons, I led to believe that it's probably going to be in my best interest soon, very, very soon to take profit. I don't think it's going to get back up to that white line up there. And that white line is looking really far away right now, to be quite honest. But we did get a series of a dual pin bar, a twin tweezer pair combination with multiple rejections to the downside, as you can see here. Everything below that white line is considered a series of rejections. And now my profits are withering away. I'm only at a $2,800 profit now instead of a much larger profit that I was at earlier. So I'm down about 1%. I could have been up $4,000, but unfortunately I didn't take my profit. So now I'm risking staying in the trade longer to see if it could recover or go up a little bit more, or if I should take my profit now and just be happy with it because let's be real, $3,000, $4,000 is a very big profit. I believe though, if I had to make a decision, if I was forced to make a decision between risking to stay in the trade a little bit longer or actually take my profit now, I think I'm going to risk it just a little bit longer, and that's all. And the reason for this is because I understand that my fear is overwhelming right now of missing out on the profits because of all these risks associated with the fifth wave. But I also see and acknowledge that the 15-minute time frame has now crossed to the upside and there should be more bullish momentum, right? But then again, these are known as lagging indicators and they don't always have to play out exactly the way that we want it to. So I'm just going to give it a pause right now and we'll go from there. I'm just going to pause and let it play out and I'll be back soon. Tired of narrating, honestly. So this was a really good trade to take. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take profit on my phone right here. So I just took my profit on the phone for $3,200. Very nice, guys. I'm trading on the phone and the computer at the same time. You guys can see that. $3,100 profit. So this was a really good trade, and I'm going to talk about how I won this trade. So just to summarize very quickly, the 1-hour chandelier exit indicator ended up bouncing over here. And the main thing is that the 5-minute time frame right here, right there, guys, that ended up breaking. So this was a good trade. Wasn't that stressful, but it did require some immense planning. Okay, it required a lot of planning, and it worked out. It ended up working out very well. So bam, guys, bam.